I got some rules that you should live by. If you're going to do this work, here's some things you should remember. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you get good at it. And that's because, I skipped one. I'll get back to it. Anything worth doing badly is, you should do it. You can't just get out there and do things good right away. First time you swung the golf club, it wasn't that good. You have to be willing to do things just mediocre or really bad, because that's the only way you get good at it. If it's important, keep at it, make sure you're good at it. But don't be afraid to do something because you're not all that good at it. We started a program very concerned about people who are incarcerated and having contact with their families. So we started a program, which I thought was pretty ingenious, with the House of Correction, that we wound up getting a computer for the House of Correction. Believe me, that is not easy. A computer with the internet is not something that correctional facilities want. It had to be in the guards area, and it had to be controlled and locked and all that. But anyway, we finally got that. And we wound up partnering with local churches and having computer settings there. And they could, it wasn't FaceTime because FaceTime wasn't secure enough, it was some other stuff. And so have them in the basement of the church with a computer, being able to talk to their loved one who was incarcerated, and they didn't have resources to be able to get, as far away as those correctional facilities are. And it's really upsetting for kids to visit their parents in correctional facilities, because correctional facilities don't make it very easy and are out there to punish everyone, including the families. So seeing your loved one in an orange jumpsuit is not a great image for most kids. So we had this program, and I was able to observe one, and a dad from Plymouth House of Correction was talking to his young son and saying goodnight to him. And he used to sing to him, and he sang to him. He sang, "Stars shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees, dream a little dream of me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me, while I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me." They closed the program. They closed the program because the guards kept using the computer to look at pornography when they were supposed to be working. So their solution was to just end the program. Do things, if they're worth doing, even if it doesn't work out. Hearing that dad sing to his son, that was worth it to me. Program bombed. You gotta be, I should get back to, if you're gonna work with this crowd, you should get a grip. You should get a grip on your life. You gotta know what's important, you know that you can do this work. And maybe you can't do much of it. Maybe you don't know mindfulness treatment for cognitive behavioral disorders. Know what you do know. Know now that you can listen and you can witness to people's lives. You can do that much. Get a grip on what you can do. To do this work, you have to get a life. That can't be your life. You have to have people you love. You have to have things you love to do. You have to like yourself, to take care of yourself. And you have to get a sense of humor. A sense of humor, of course, is never at the consumer's expense. But you have to have a sense of humor, because some of the stuff is really damn funny. You have to be flexible and proactive. Getting jobs for schizophrenics, folks with bipolar disorder, is never very easy. That's why we started a coffee shop. You have to learn to work with others. The collaterals are important people. They're going to either make your work easier, or they're just going to screw it up. And you have to recognize and respect their work and their mandate. Oftentimes they have a different mandate than you do. I remember doing a home visit late on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and I'm walking down a really dark, long driveway thinking, geez, I'm really something. Here I am working late night before Thanksgiving. And coming the other way was the DCF, Protective Service Worker. He wasn't done yet with his job. You have to respect people even if you don't necessarily agree with what they do. You have to respect their work. You have to know that this is the work that you were meant to do. If this is the work that you weren't meant to do, you'll probably know it pretty soon, and that's okay. You need to know because I've hired a lot of people, a whole lot of people. And we hire them, we train them, and there are some people who 6 months into it, they know this is what they were meant to do. And others, you need to move them on to something that is more appropriate for them. If this is the work you know, then you're gonna love it. You need to learn to trust clients. You have to trust the process, and that's how you know that you're going to be successful in this, because you usually don't see that nice, all the steps of treatment, and then they come, and then they send you a Christmas card next year. Like, their lives are too chaotic for that all to happen. You'll never, if in fact this is the work you'll do, you will never have a situation that you can't solve, because there's higher power involved here. And you have to know that you can make a difference. With the magnitude of issues facing disadvantaged people, it's reasonable to ask yourself if you can make a difference. And the real answer is, you don't always know if you make a difference. Sometimes looking back, you're not even sure if you did anything. I had a 7-year-old boy, Justin, who suffered from leukemia. And the leukemia basically ate the white blood cells, and he became more and more depleted. He had bruises, was very tired constantly. And I remember being in his kitchen with Mom and Dad talking to him, and he was so tired, he just kind of leaned up against me. I put my arm around him, and he said, I'm really tired. He was the funniest kid I ever met. He loved life. He talked to me about, I don't want to die and not do something. I want to do everything. We went through his bucket list, and he did most of it. One of the things on his list was, I want to be bad. Because he never had been bad. So he tried being bad. His first try was, I'm going to skip Sunday school. So they're in church, the kids leave at a certain part of the ceremony, and then they go down to Sunday school. He scoots out the back way, and hangs around, and this is boring. I'm out here standing next to the dumpster, and he just sat there for a while, and then the rest of the class came out for play, and he joined in with them, and they went back in, and he told the teacher, I skipped Sunday school. And she said, no, you didn't, you're right here. He said, no, I did, I skipped Sunday school. No, you're right here. He said, no, see these kids, they all have like a popsicle stick with a saint on it. And it's like, I don't have one, And she said, well, would you like one? He said, what am I going to do with a saint and a stick? No, I skipped Sunday school. And she said, okay. That's so disappointing. His parents, he met his parents, and he said, I need to talk to the pastor. And they're thinking, oh, this is going to be important. So they went, because Sunday is a busy day for the pastor. You couldn't get the pastor, so you got like an assistant pastor, youth pastor, young guy. And he told the pastor, I skipped Sunday school. And the pastor says, we're Congregationalists. And you don't have to confess to me. There's no intermediaries between God. I said, no, I skipped Sunday school. And so he started to say, well, do you have a problem with Sunday? No, not good. Do you, the kids not, are they mean to you? She says, no, I wish they were. It would be normal. And so he couldn't quite understand. So skipping Sunday school didn't work. So he finally, I came to a session, he said, I found it. And he found how he was going to be naughty. And it was a place called Prank Place on the internet. And he invested heavily at Prank Place. He found this powder you could put in the nozzle of the shower that, you know, if you loaded it up, it would turn green. So he actually got his dad to help him on that one. And got it all loaded up, got a little chair, sat down in front because Mom went in to use the shower. And she was screaming, he thought this was the best thing in the world. Yes. He got a green monster that when you open up the toilet, it would pop out. And this was a funny, funny kid, and I enjoyed him immensely. And we lost him. And he liked Hot Wheels, and he had been featured in the front of the newspaper with his Hot Wheels. And after that, people started sending him Hot Wheels. I said, and I said, that's pretty good. And he said, I can only love so many of them. So he had boxes of Hot Wheels, and after the funeral, I went over to get the boxes because he wanted them given to the shelter, kids shelter. And so I went, and Mom and Dad had some coffee with me. And we were talking about him and remembering him. And Dad said to me, I want to thank you for what you did for us. I said, I didn't do anything. And he said, yeah, remember that day when we were in the kitchen, we were right here, Justin leaned up against you. Do you remember what you said? I honestly couldn't. And he said, you said, you're so lucky. And that really has helped us. Because the last couple of weeks, people have been telling us how tragic it was and how the loss was so bad. And everyone knew how horrible this was, but it was important for us to have someone in the world who knew how lucky we were, who knew what a wonderful kid he was, that shared that. And was able to witness their life. It didn't take a whole lot of technical sophistication, but just to be able to witness people's lives is a huge interaction. And can I make a difference? I think if you want to do that, you can. Thanks.